We're getting there. Nice. Nicely done. Hey everyone, my name's Dr. Shapiro. My guess is many of you have seen me sort of popping in and out of your classrooms on Tuesday afternoons. I bet. And you've probably seen my students popping in as well. So I'm a professor over next door at the college, and the students that have been coming in on Tuesdays are taking one of my classes where we're learning about classroom culture, how to build a culture in a classroom where everybody. Yeah, I can wait. That's okay. So again, just we're working with these students on trying to build a culture of a classroom where everyone feels respected, everyone has the ability to learn, everyone feels valued. And we partnered with the 6th grade team last semester. We're partnering with you guys this semester. And I know that a lot of your teachers have been working on things, and you've been working on building things as far as what it means to have a successful classroom, what the rules of a classroom should be since the beginning of the semester. Anyone want to volunteer anything that's been going on in their classrooms as far as what the rules or the expectations are or what the culture is? Anyone? Like the culture, like I know that there are rules that are like up in some of your classrooms as far as what you should be doing in the classroom. Yeah, go for it.
No talking.
Okay, no talking. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, that's right, because the expectations, like the rules.
Yeah. Okay, so things like no talk. Anything else? Okay, good. Keep your hands to yourself. Absolutely, sure. That makes sense. Anything else? Yeah. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Absolutely, awesome. So there are these, these principles that you guys have been working with. Some since the beginning of the year, some as the year has gone on. And it sounds like there are also some different kinds of systems of things that you can get when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I know that there are, in some cases, there are tickets that get handed out. There are sometimes when it's tied to your participation grade or things like that for doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. Now I know that McKay as a whole has been working on some school-wide rules or standards, which are similar to the stuff that you guys have been working with. It's about safety, respect, you got it, and responsibility. So a lot of the stuff that you guys are talking about and working with fall under these 3 categories. This stuff hasn't been rolled out for the whole school yet, but it's going to be probably next year. But I think that we have an opportunity to get ahead of the curve a little bit and start things here. But what's interesting is that it goes from like pre-K up through 8th grade here at McKay, right? So what it means for someone that's in kindergarten to be respectful or to be responsible means something very different than what it means for a 7th grader to be respectful or responsible or safe, right? And it might mean different things in the classroom, what it means to be respectful in the classroom versus in the cafeteria, or to be safe during gym class versus in the classroom. What's something that you can do in gym that you can't do in the classroom? Yeah. You can run around in gym, absolutely, and that's okay, right? That's following the rules in gym. But if you're running around in the classroom, that's a problem, right? So what we have to start to do is, we got these general things, safety, respect, responsibility. But we have to start to think about, in the classroom and for 7th graders, what does that mean to do those things? And one of the things that I think is cool is that there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's about what we build as a community, what we want it to be, what safety means for us in the 7th grade. So I'll ask that in the classroom for you guys. What does it mean if someone's being safe or if someone's showing safety? What does that mean? What does it look like or what does it not look like? Anyone want to jump in? Okay, excellent. So talking about safety, right? If you're back on two legs on your chair, you might fall over backwards and you might end up hurting yourself. So that can be an example of not being safe. One of the things when we set these kinds of systems up that we can start to think about is sometimes we start to think about all the stuff that we shouldn't do, right? But a big piece of this is let's talk about the things that we should do. What does it look like when we're doing the things that we want to see? So if we say that, okay, no tipping back in your chair because that's kind of problematic, what would be a way of putting that? Anyone can think of a way of putting that that is what we should do with our chairs? Yeah, there we go. Have our chairs on the ground, right? All 4 feet on the ground. Or on the floor, yeah. Excellent. So what else, as far as being safe, what else does it look like when someone's being safe in the classroom? Or what does it look like when someone's not being safe?
Not throwing stuff.
Throwing stuff. Okay, throwing stuff is kind of problematic from a safety standpoint, right? So, not throwing stuff. And I'm putting that one in parentheses over here because that's, again, we're framing that sort of the negative stuff that you shouldn't do, but that one's a little bit more tricky to like think about things that you should do. So maybe the flip side of not throwing stuff is like using materials appropriately or something along those lines. Yeah, Mr. Smith.
Student said it earlier, keeping your hands to yourself.
Keeping your hands to yourself, absolutely. That's an important one. So all these things that are involved in what it looks like if someone's being safe. Anyone have anything else that they want to add to this? To what it means to be safe in the classroom? Yeah, shoot. Not hitting people with things. Yeah, absolutely. And that, you know what, that's a piece of not throwing stuff, a piece of keeping your hands to yourself. I agree. I think that's important to not hit people with things, right? Sometimes we have the temptation to try to skirt the rules a little bit, say, oh, well, it says I'm supposed to keep my hands to myself, but I just whacked you with a ruler. So technically I didn't hit you, so I'm okay. But we know that that's not okay too, right? So all these things that are involved in being in safety. Okay, what about respect? If someone's being respectful in the classroom, and again, respect doesn't just mean to your teachers, right? Of course, it's important to be respectful to your teachers and to adults, but a big part of respect is being respectful to each other and being respectful to yourself. So what does that mean, respect in the classroom? Yeah. Treat people like you want to be treated. Great. Anyone else have any thoughts about what respect in the classroom means? Yeah. Okay, not insulting people when they make a mistake. And again, so we're framing that sort of what we shouldn't do. So if we're not insulting people when they make a mistake, maybe that's just about being kind to people, or maybe that's using kind words. But we'll put it like you said, not insulting who make a mistake. Anybody here ever in class raised your hand and offered an answer that you weren't sure if it was the right answer? What? Has anyone ever tried to give an answer when you weren't really sure if you had the right answer? Probably a lot of you, right? I know I have. I've had times when I'm like, I think maybe this is the answer, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. It takes some bravery to do that, right? You're sort of putting yourself out there a little bit. And so if we can be respectful of those people that are putting themselves out there, it can make it a lot easier to be willing to do that, okay? And on the flip side, I'm sure when you put yourself out there, it doesn't feel great when people laugh at the answer that you gave or they insult you. So yeah, so that makes sense to not insult people who are making a mistake. Sure. Anything else? Anyone else have something to volunteer about what it means to be respectful in the classroom? Say it one more time. Okay. Tell me you don't know? So, okay, fair enough. Anyone else have something else that they want to add? Okay. All right, and how about responsibility? That one can be kind of tricky. What is it for you to be responsible when you're in the classroom or coming to class? What kind of things do you do that shows responsibility? Yeah. Following the rules. Like every classroom has rules, right? Every school has rules. And I promise you, I'll tell you a secret. Sometimes it might feel like the rules are in place just to like give you guys a hard time or to give teachers a reason to like yell at you about stuff. I promise you that's not what rules are about. Rules are about trying to make learning be able to take place as well as it can and try to make people feel welcomed and feel willing to put themselves out there and to get you guys stuff that you want to get. That's why the rules are really there. Yeah. What else in terms of responsibility? Yeah. Awesome. Bringing your materials to class. Absolutely. So if we don't have the stuff that we need, it can be difficult to learn. Yeah.
So why are we here?
Because we're talking about how to build a culture where people feel respected, where people feel safe, where people feel valued. So there you go. Okay, good. So that's a really good question. What do I mean by culture, right? Culture doesn't just have to do with heritage or ethnicity, right? Culture has to do with the shared values of a community, right? And that's what we're talking about here, is how do we build those shared values? What do you want from your community? So all of you guys, you guys are moving in groups together from class to class to class, right? You're spending a lot of time together. And for many of you, you've probably been together for many years at this point. And you're going to continue to be together for many years. You've got this community, okay? And the question is, what do you want to see out of that community? What do you want it to be? It can be anything you want it to be. It can be something really positive, or it can be something neutral or even destructive, a place that people want to get out of. That would be a drag. You guys have an opportunity to build something where you feel valued and you value the community that you're in. Mr. Semedy, did you have something that you wanted to
I
add?
was going to say, we respect the speaker, like whether it's a student or a teacher.
Awesome. Excellent. So respect the person that's talking. I love that, right? And again, this comes back to it's not just about the teachers.
Give it to me now. Just give me the whole thing.
All right. So good. So we've got a little bit of what it might look like, your ideas of what it might mean to show safety, to show respect, to show responsibility. The next thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit, hopefully is going to be a little bit more fun. And this is sort of like the what's in it for me kind of thing, right? So at the end of the day, I would hope that if we all follow these classroom rules and we establish this classroom culture, everyone's going to be happier, everyone's going to learn better, everyone's going to feel safer and more valued. So that's a piece of what's in it for you. That's the big picture. But that's kind of far away stuff. So talking about stuff that's happening like right now, like for example the tickets that get handed out and stuff like that. I've been getting together with my students and your teachers and talking about a system that we could build where you guys get rewarded for meeting classroom expectations, okay? And we talked about a couple of different levels of what that reward could look like. One would be things that, like little things that you might be able to earn on a daily basis for meeting expectations, okay? Another might be, we talked about like bigger weekly things, like a chance for you guys to get some social time when you would normally be expected to be doing like classwork, to just hang out instead. That might be fun. Listen, I get the stress of being in school all day. Okay, so getting some time to hang out a little bit, and then maybe even some bigger things. So what I wanted to ask you all, and again, I've got to make it clear that just because I'm asking your opinion, and I sincerely want your opinion on the things that you want to earn, just because you tell me what it is doesn't mean that I'm going to be able to give it to you, okay? Because there are rules that I'm working around as well. But I would love to hear like the kinds of things that would be of value to you. If you are doing a good job as an individual, or if the class is doing a good job as a whole, what are some things that you'd like to be able to earn? Shoot. A movie day. Awesome. Anything else? Yeah.
Going outside for a whole hour.
Going outside
No, we're going to go outside for a whole hour.
for a whole hour.
I go for a long
for a long time. All right. And we'll figure out what, and like I said, just because you say it doesn't mean I can make it happen, right? But maybe an hour I can't make happen, but maybe there's something we can make happen there. Okay, so a movie day, going outside. What else? Show me your hand and let me know what you want. I promise I'll call on you if you let me know. Yeah, what do you want? Yeah. Oh, you're just showing. Oh, I appreciate that. Okay. Anyone else have things that they think they might want to earn? Either stuff. You know, it doesn't just have to be activities. It can be stuff too. You got another one? Yeah, go. Prizes. Like, okay, what kind of prizes? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it down because I told you I'd put it down. I'll tell you that the bad news is I know I can't do stuff like this. Okay? I can't do stuff like food.
Why?
Because I can't. Because I got rules that I have to play by too. And one of the rules that I have to play by is that I can't do food. Okay? So, but what other kinds of prizes might be of interest? Yeah. Homework passes. Okay, what else? Yeah, homework pass, absolutely. What else? What other kinds of things? What do you like? What's valuable to you? Okay. Money. Art supplies. Shoes. Headphones. Chance to listen to music? Use your phones. Okay. And again, like I said, just because I'm putting it up here doesn't mean I can do it, but I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah. Console games. Is that what you said? Console games? Like video games? Yeah. Yep, phone use. Okay, yep. Shoot. Basketball game against the teachers. Okay. Anyone else have anything that they're thinking of that's of interest to them, that's of value to them? Yeah. A field trip. To where? Anywhere. A field trip. Just getting away. Just getting away. Okay. All right. Other things? That's a good list. That's a good list. And so there are some things here that we can probably work with. There are some things here that are going to be tricky or we won't be able to work with. But this at least gives me a good idea of some of the things that are of value to you. But before we move on here, I want to give anyone else a chance that wants to add something to this list that's not on here. This is your chance to speak up and tell me the stuff that's of value to you. Yeah. Chromebook. Awesome. Anything else? Anyone else? Shoot. Say it again. Game time? Sleep time. Time to sleep. Okay. Getting to school later? No, noon. You should go to school at 1 and get out at 1:15, right? 15. Absolutely. I'm all in. I'm all in. Sounds good. All right. So listen. Yeah, shoot. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hey guys, this is for you, so please, why don't we talk one at a time? Raise your hand if you have a suggestion, just so that everybody gets their opportunity to speak and possibly get what it is that you want out of it.
Awesome. So board games, you said, and field trip board games.
No.
Yeah, shoot. Food, okay. I'm going to put it down. I told you I can't do it, but I'll put it down just the same. Food.
What are we naming?
Okay. What are we naming? What are we naming, like the whole thing? Like what do we call it?
Ian, good job. Look at this guy over here.
Say it again.
So why are we
I'm writing, so this is so I can remember all the stuff that we're talking about. Right? It's all important stuff. Yeah.
class pet?
Say it again. A class pit?
Pet.
Pet. Class pet. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Okay, interesting. I like that. So, and here's what I'll say about that. So there are some things here that like are stuff that maybe it's that you've got to earn, and there are some stuff that's just good stuff to be able to do, and maybe that's just something to think about. Putting in there. So stretch breaks. Yeah. Get out of school earlier. So we go in later, we get out earlier. Yeah, I got you. I shorten it. I understand. All right. So we've got a pretty good list going here. All right, one more.
Should have food at least walking in the hallways.
Should have what?
We have food in our hands.
Food in the hallways. I'm going to put it down. My guess is I can't do that, but I'm going to put it down anyway. All right. So we've got a solid list of things that potentially could be earned. So the system that we've been talking about, your teachers and I and my students. Someone lost their water bottle. There you go.
Thank you.
Some of the things that we've been talking about is number one, again, a system where, similar to right now in some classes you get tickets for doing things, tying tickets to meeting those standards of safety, respect, and responsibility, right? And then have a drawing at the end of the day where a couple of names get drawn and people whose names get drawn from those tickets get some kind of daily prize. But then we also talked about like a weekly thing, where for those of you who meet certain expectations, earn a certain number of tickets over the course of the week, that once a week you get some hangout time at the end of the day, one day a week. And what that could be a time to do things maybe like Chromebook time or playing games or doing arts and crafts or maybe going outside and doing stuff like that as we can do it. Yeah, potentially. So listen, what we did with the 6th grade last semester was we had 3 groups. We had a group that went outside and played kickball or shot hoops. We had a group that stayed inside and did arts and crafts. We had a group that stayed inside and played board games or went on Chromebooks. Okay? So there's no reason we can't do stuff like that. That would be like a weekly thing for meeting certain expectations. And then we also talk, and so that's like individual students. Like if you meet the expectation, you get to do that fun thing once a week, okay? But then we also talked about something bigger than that, okay? Something that the whole class, the whole 7th grade could earn based on meeting expectations. And that would be like a bigger, maybe it would be once a month or something, that when enough people out of all of you, so you all have to work together, enough people out of all of you meet certain expectations, something bigger comes. And maybe that's something like a field trip or a class movie or something, some kind of a party, something that's a little bit more substantial than just hanging out and having social time. So those are the 3 layers we're talking about: a daily thing for you guys to be able to earn, a weekly thing, and then a bigger whole team thing for you to be able to earn. Okay? Yeah.
Oh, you know how we have like questions at the end of the day?
Yes.
Change that up, like,
Yeah. So yes. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying is that there's no schedule that's really ideal with how things are set up. The way that I would be thinking about it is that if we're doing this time at the end of the day, it wouldn't be taken away from your specials time. What we would do is we would do it before your specials. So your last academic block of the day is where we do it. Is you get to have some social time, some fun time, that last academic class of the day, and then you would go to specials, is the kind of thing we're talking about. The last thing, because I know that I'm keeping you guys probably longer than I should. You okay with that? All right. I didn't think you'd object that much, but I do want to let you get back to the other stuff that you have to do. So listen. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is that sometimes it's cool to put these rules or these expectations into some kind of like a theme, like having a mascot or a motto or something like that. And I know that when we looked into it last year, anyone know what the mascot for McKay is? A liger, right? Which is like half lion, half tiger. What I'll tell you is the 6th graders were all out on that. They were like, we don't care about any liger. We don't know what that is. We're not interested in doing that. So they came up with different stuff. So what they did is we did like a Patriots themed thing. So what I wanted to ask all of you is, do any of you have ideas of what would be, do you like the Liger?
Yeah.
Who likes the Liger? Raise your hand if you're cool with doing the Liger. We got a couple of hands up. Okay, so for those of you that are out on the Liger, what do you want it to be? A chicken?
A chicken.
Here's what I'm gonna do. Liger, chicken,
A gorilla.
shark. Okay. Okay. Now I can't hear. There's too many people calling out all at once. Now I can't hear. We're getting there. There we go. Shoot. A pig. All right.
Ian, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah, I agree. Yes. A bear. And hey, here's the other thing that I'll tell you guys. They don't all have to be animals. Like I said, the 6th grade did the Patriots. Doesn't have to be animals. Yeah.
Did he put the Gucci logo? Good.
Yeah. An owl. Okay. Yeah. Say it again.
Chinese.
A duck? Dog or duck? Dog. Awesome. Yeah. A black mamba.
What the hell is that?
If you have your hand up, you will be called. Just wait.
Yes. A hippo. Yeah. A cheetah. Okay. Yeah, shoot. A cat.
You know I am.
Yes. A panda.
Thank you for waiting.
Awesome. Yes. A rhino. Awesome. Yes. A dinosaur. Yes. A fish. All right. Let me ask. Does anyone have others that they feel really strongly about? I start to, my mind starts to go, and I start to think that we're just naming any animal we can think of to not have to go back to class. I start to think that at a certain point. So if you have something that you're passionate about, a black panther.
Can we get Mahela in the back? She's been waiting for a while.
Absolutely, yes.
Mahela, what was yours? What is it?
Saber-toothed tiger.
Okay.
All right. Yes, Dan. Eagle.
Yeah, I like an eagle.
All right, I'm going to take two more, and I apologize if I don't get to you. Yes, sir. A wolf?
I already said a wolf.
All right. We already got wolf. A whale. And I'll take one more. Yes, sir. Fortnite. We can't do Fortnite. A zebra? All right. All right.
For those of you who had your hand up, but you didn't get
Yes.
you felt strongly about it, we'll capture those in the classroom.
And thank you. And thank you for being respectful and keeping your hands raised. I apologize that I could not get to all of you here. So here's what I would like to do is if
3, 2, 1, 0, show 5.
see, when the big boss comes in the room, you know it's time to get serious. Right? Okay. So here's what I'm going to suggest that we do, because I agree with Mr. Daisy that many of you had your hands up and I didn't get to all of you. And I apologize about that. So what I'd like your teachers to do is to solicit any additional ones, okay? And then what I'll do is I'll put together a master sheet and we can have everybody vote, okay? And maybe we vote top 3 for your first choice, second choice, third choice. And I will tally the votes. There's this doesn't matter. There's this cool new way of voting that you can sort of take a look at, that you take the top and you exclude the others, and it'll work out, don't worry, okay? We'll have you vote your top 3. I'll get that to you as soon as your teachers get to me. Any others that aren't on here, we'll do that. And then my hope is that we'll start to roll out this system pretty quickly. My students are around next week, and then they have their spring break the week after that. So I'm hoping to get some of this information about who our mascot is going to be, so that they can start to create some materials, some posters and stuff, and we can maybe get this going as soon as next week, okay? I wanted to, again, thank you all for taking some time out of your morning to meet with me. I'm looking forward, and I wanted to sincerely thank all of you for letting my students come into your classrooms. It's a great learning experience for them, and hopefully it'll be useful for you all as well. All right? Okay. Thank you guys very much. I'm going to turn it over to your teachers to get you back to class in an organized fashion.
Do it by class. Miss Murphy's class, if we could line up in front of Miss Murphy. We're ready to go.
Is that my class here, please?